Hi, Stefano Brunerotto here, and today we are going to be looking at the best budget sparkling wines I could find. Now, I usually am really picky with sparkling wine. Champagne is one of my favorite wine varieties in the entire world. I drink a lot of it. Even some of the cheaper champagnes, it's hard to find something decent. With sparkling wine, I typically kind of use the cheap stuff just for mimosas or just, casual something with friends, or for a party you'll put out some Cava, Prosecco, what have you. I went shopping, picked a selection of options under $15. The goal is for one of the six to be something I would drink without having to pour orange juice in it. I don't like the odds very much for that. So we have a little bit of different styles too. I couldn't find any champagne that cheap, of course. Land there is too expensive, labor is too expensive for that to even make sense. So instead we have an American sparkling, we have a French Cremant, we have 2 Proseccos from Italy, and 2 Spanish Cavas. My assumption is this all is going to be garbage that we end up pouring out or giving to a neighbor. But we'll see how it goes, so let's give them a try. So first we have the Jacqueline Leon. I probably mispronounced that to hell, I'm sorry. This is American sparkling wine from New Mexico. I didn't know that wine was grown in New Mexico, that's news to me. The label's really pretty. I think they did a really great job with the marketing, trying to make it seem like it's not crap. So I'm really hoping they put as much effort into the wine as they did the appearance, because great looking bottle, beautiful design. Let's see what New Mexico sparkling tastes like. The bubbles are really harsh, as you'd expect from something this cheap. I think this is about $9 a bottle, $12 a bottle, that's what it shows. It has a really strong flavor of like lemon. That's about it. It's not really anything going on here. It's like a little bit of like maybe apple, a little bit. It's basically just a lemon forward sparkling wine. It's really bubbly, a little bit too acidic for my taste, of course. Might be a little bit too acidic and too much citrus to mix well in a mimosa, but maybe some peach and like a peach Bellini would cut that down. But honestly, it's not disgusting. It doesn't taste good. I'm not saying it tastes good, but it's not good. I mean, let's be honest, it's not good. But it's not, Andre. It's not something that's, spitting out worthy. I can stomach it. I would drink a glass with a smile on my face at a party and just ignore it. But it's really not great for mixing, not great for drinking straight. Maybe you put a bottle on display because it's pretty and give it to a friend when they come over. But not off to a great start, but not off to a terrible start. I haven't thrown up yet, so. Well, welcome back. Hopefully my editor just put in that blooper of the bottle exploding as I tried to open it. This wine's already pissing me off, so we'll see how it goes. This is a Cremant from France that did not behave well in the bottle. That's disappointing. Cremants are usually wines that I really do like mixed in a Bellini or a mimosa. I feel like they're usually creamy, smooth, and are subtle enough that you can get the acidity from either your oranges, or you can get the flavor of the peach to really stand out with kind of a subtle background. I'm hoping that this is around the same. Usually they're okay, drinkable, really good like brunchy wines that you can pair with food without it kind of stealing the show. But now that I'm soaked in it, I might as well taste it. Yeah, this is really not bad. I think this is this a Blanc de Blanc? Yes, this is a Blanc de Blanc, so it's Chardonnay grapes. It has a little bit of a more toastiness, more of a reminiscent of the French terroir when it comes to sparkling wine. There is a little bit of citrus, a little bit of green fruit, but I think the toasty, almondy, bready flavor comes through more than anything. Like I was hoping for, this is something that I think would mix really well, and by itself is okay. Pair this with some French toast at brunch, you have it with dessert or something, and I think it's going to do its job. This is around the same as the others. This is about $13 a bottle is what it says here. for that, you can't really go wrong. This is something I would buy again, and not as pretty as the last bottle, but it is pretty. I'm going to open the next bottles away from my computer and my office, so I'm not soaked in any more sparkling wine, just in case. So moving on to the next one. All right, up next is a wine that a lot of people are probably familiar with. I've had this a bunch of times. It's one of the more generic Proseccos you're ever going to find, and for pretty decent reason. Not only do they make a lot of it, which is why it's so accessible, but it's around 10 bucks a bottle. It's super cheap, and it's pretty much a prototypical mimosa wine. This is kind of if I'm making mimosas, I'll get a bottle of this. I know it's going to have absolutely no taste whatsoever, have some bubbles, have some alcohol, and that's what you're going for. This is pretty much a standard for Prosecco drinkers who don't appreciate flavor in wine, I guess. I don't know why people drink this. Tastes like a little bit of sugar. It's crisp. The finish is gone in half a second. You forget that you had wine in your mouth. I have to say, it didn't explode all over my entire office, soaking my computer and desk and tablecloth and shirt in the process. That's a huge bonus. My best critic review is did not soak myself in it. 2 stars, 2.5. Great for mimosas. That's really what Prosecco is made for. Frankly, no one's drinking Prosecco because it's Prosecco. Lavosia, you're gonna find it anywhere. They probably sell this at 7-Elevens in a bucket. I mean, it is what it is. Move on to the next one. Hopefully we try some more fun stuff. So our second Prosecco is by Prosecco. This one is I think one of the more expensive bottles of this tasting, capping in right around that $15 mark that I said is the higher end. This one is designed like you're giving it to a girl for her sweet 16 or something. I don't know what's up with the sparkly label. Of course, only in countries where you're legally allowed to drink at 16. Drink responsibly. I'm not advocating for minors drinking. Depends on the country you're in. Either way, Prosecco is a pretty large brand. They do a lot of sparkling wines in particular. We have another one coming up from Spain. Again, this is going to be Prosecco. Keep an open mind that it's not supposed to be good wine. It's supposed to be Prosecco. I believe I've had this before, but I'm not I wouldn't really remember this for obvious reasons, so we'll see how it is. It's a DOCG Prosecco with a sparkly label. This one, a lot more so than the Lavosia, actually tastes like you're drinking wine. It has a little cream, a little yeast. There are some discernible tasting notes. I get a little bit of pear, a little bit of green apple. This actually tastes like wine a lot more than Lavosia. It's only about $5 more. This is much more pleasant to drink by itself, actually. This isn't terrible. This would actually taste like it would be decent with like a fruit basket, a yogurt parfait, maybe a lighter brunch where most of your calories are actually coming from alcohol. I know we've all been there. Yeah, this is actually surprisingly better than the Lavosia. I thought it was gonna be pretty similar. I was ready to just say, stick some orange juice in it, good luck. But this is actually not too bad. For 15 bucks, I've had a whole hell of a lot worse. This is pretty drinkable, has some discernible flavor to it. It tastes like someone tried to make wine instead of making bubbly alcohol to get drunk with. So I guess that's a plus. There's a plus to me. That's it for Prosecco. We're gonna move to Cava next, which I have a love-hate relationship with. We'll see how these stack up for under $15. So up next is the Rondel Cava. This is from Spain. Cava is something that I think it's getting more popular these days. Cava really wasn't known a couple years ago. Sparkling wine that comes from Spain in that area. I think with their lower price points than most sparkling regions, they've been able to get a foothold into a lot of markets by offering an alternative to people that don't want to drink Prosecco but can't afford to drink something else. And since American wine, sparkling wine is so god-awful, there's an easy need to kind of fill that market for people getting drunk on Sunday afternoons. So here's Rondel, whoever they are, with an $8 bottle of sparkling Cava. Usually Cava does not have a lot of those creamy, yeasty, bready notes that we like. You get more like honey, minerality, and things of that nature if you're drinking a good one. This one's probably not a good one, so you're probably just gonna get bubbles and alcohol. So let's see. Bubbles, alcohol, and not a whole lot else. Again, pour some peach nectar, pour some orange juice in. For the love of God, please don't just sit and drink a glass of this. It's pretty terrible. That's kind of the theme of this, is which of the better cheap sparkling wines to pour orange juice in, frankly. That's just unfortunately the nature of sparkling wine, is that decent quality stuff is really hard to get. I feel like with whites and reds it's a lot easier to drink decent wine on a budget than sparkling. For whatever reason, sparkling wine, you just can't cut it getting a decent bottle at a decent price for the most part. Most of it is just uninspired, bubbly alcohol. That's what this is. Let's move on. Alright, and finally, as I begin to dry from being drenched in sparkling garbage, we have a Prosecco Cava. This is a Spanish counterpart to the Prosecco we tried earlier. Again, like I said, large producer. They do a lot of sparkling wine. They make really funky, gross sparkling labels designed, I feel like, for children, which shouldn't be allowed. Let's see what it tastes like. Again, this is not so bad, actually. I taste some pear, some stone fruit, a little bit of citrus. Again, this is discernible tasting notes, as if they actually tried to make a bottle of wine. Yeah, this isn't too bad overall. I mean, I really don't like Cava, and this is drinkable. Again, would I pour orange juice into it? Yes. Does it have to have orange juice in it to be drinkable? No. I think whether you are a wine snob or a beginner, I think that there's something that you can use in this bottle to appreciate. There's something that you can use to learn more about wine, about discerning different flavors and profiles of wine. And I think that that's a valuable thing in a $15 bottle or a $1,500 bottle, is to the contemplation that you're able to have over what you're drinking, and to experience it in a way that's much more discerning than just, hey, alcohol, let's get drunk. And I think it does that. I'm decently impressed with Prosecco, with the way the labels are designed. I expected very little. Both were decently drinkable, and when you're under $15, that's the goal. So of these six, I think when you're spending less than $15, you're really buying a mixer, not a standalone bottle. That being said, I put one of the bottles backwards. Look at that. That's fantastic. I think the Vostra is really the bottom of the barrel here in terms of flavor. The American Sparkling is obviously terrible. We knew that was going to happen. But the Prosecco's were the two surprises to me. I think that they really put some minimal amount of effort into these wines that a lot of the other producers didn't. And they're a good place to look for a bargain when you're drinking sparkling wine. As always, if you're interested in learning more about wine or participating in some fun tastings, check out my wine group in the description below. We drink some fun bottles if you're in the DC area. Other than that, please like, subscribe, let me know what budget sparkling wines you always go to, or if you just pour orange juice into cheap crap like I do, if that's the goal. Thank you, I'll see you next time.